Alright, we start off this series by seeing Sasha hugging the main character, Heis, as she says that she did it and that her blessing is the Swordmaster. Heis congratulates her, and Sasha tells him that it's his turn now. He smiles and says that he is sure that he will also get an amazing blessing and that they can then go on adventures together. Sasha smiles and says that then they will be one step closer to achieving their dreams. Heis agrees, and we see a younger version of both Sasha and Heis in front of their mother's and dad's graves, while Heis says that they will make the best and strongest team together, and then they are going to help tons of people so that no one else has to go through what they had to. Someone else tells Heis that it's his turn now. As Heis goes to do it, we get explained that blessings are powers that are granted to humans by God. In this world, you go through baptism and also receive your blessing by the time you turn 12. And to find out what your blessing exactly does, you need to read it in the Tome of Blessings and understand what your blessing is and what it allows you to use. Heis puts his hand on the book and thinks that for the sake of their dreams, this is where they take the first step. However, Heis is quickly surprised as he wonders just what it is that he got. He asks the other guy, who we know now is called Geist, and he doesn't know either. Heis is surprised that even Geist has no clue about it, as he is a guild master. However, he tells Heis that since they don't know what his blessing is, then that means that he can't use it. We then get all the way to 2 years later, where we see Heis slacking behind while he's carrying a ton of stuff. Suddenly someone called Reynold comes back and asks how he is hanging in there and tells Heis that they are almost there. We also learn that Reynold is the vice captain. Anyway, Heis says that he is fine and that he can keep on going. However, Sasha says that they will take a 30-minute break. Heis tries to assure her that he can still keep on going. However, Sasha asks him if he collapses here, then who's going to cover for him, and that they would have to carry the luggage, which would make them unable to fight. We then get introduced to Piazzolla, Tycoon, and Robin. Piazzolla says that Heis doesn't even have a blessing, but that he's still talking big. Meanwhile, Robin says that she can carry some stuff as well, and asks Sasha if that's fine. We then get to Sasha again, who is the leader. However, she says that Robin can't, and that their current task is a very important decider for Team Sacred's rank up, telling Robin that their archer can't be having to do more things. Heis then thanks Robin but says that he is fine. Sasha then, with a mean tone, just tells Heis to get some rest. Heis then thinks that it's been 2 years since he got his blessing, and that he's formed a team with Sash, and their team grew from there. He says that their team called Sacred is currently a B rank team, and Sasha's individual rank is currently A rank. Heis gets angry and says that meanwhile he is just someone who can't even use his blessing and is carrying around luggage. Suddenly, Reynold pats him on his shoulder and tells him not to get to him and to just rest up. Reynold then approaches Sasha. Sasha asks him how Heis is doing, and he says that he looks pretty exhausted, saying that he thinks that Heis will pull through just fine before asking Sasha if she has decided, and she says that she has. Anyway, they then enter the den of the A-rank Queen Cobra, and since their task is to subjugate it, Sasha says that their plan is simple and that she will go and confront it head-on, while Tycoon and Robin will provide support. Reynold will guard the rear, and Piazzolla will stay in the back since she's their healer. Heis then asks Sasha what he will do, and Sasha tells him to stay right here, which makes him a bit annoyed. Sasha then tells Tycoon to use support magic, and the text says that there are certain blessings that allow people to call upon a power called magical energy, and having magical energy allows you to use magic, saying that Tycoon's blessing is a sage, which allows him to use magic aside from healing magic, and his specialty is support magic. Sasha then tells them to go, and they then walk into the den and go against the Cobra. Sasha tells the Cobra that there are no hard feelings involved, but that it has to die here. Heis is just amazed in the background and says that no matter how many times he sees it, it's always a sight to see, explaining that Sasha's blessing, Swordmaster, allows her to be exceptional with swords, and as long as she's holding a sword, she becomes stronger and can use amazing swordsmanship. And the greatest thing about her blessing is that she can unleash magical power at will, and she can use it to strengthen her sword and shield, saying that it's one of the 16 master blessings that are currently known. We then see all of them working hard while a Cobra sneaks up behind Robin and is going to attack. However, Reynold comes in the last second and saves her. Piazzolla says that this is their shield master and laughs a bit. Heis is just standing minding his business when Reynold screams out for him. We then see that a Cobra was able to sneak up behind. However, luckily, Sasha was able to defeat it. Heis thanks Sasha for saving him. He tries to explain why he is here, as he was supposed to stay behind, but Sasha screams at him to stop causing trouble and to stay still. Sasha then walks away, leaving Heis standing alone. Anyway, they then get to looting, and Robin asks what they should do about the other materials. but Sasha tells her to leave it and that they only need the Queen Cobra's core. We then get to Heis, who has found some cool looking book. However, just then, Piazzolla tells him to stop dawdling and start packing, and Heisi apologizes before he hides away the book. After that, we get to the village, and we see Heis sitting alone looking at the book. He wonders what it is that he is looking at, and compares it to the mystery he felt when he got his blessing. He thinks that he has to try to decipher it somehow, as who knows. Maybe it'll be the catalyst he needs to use his blessing. Finally, after that, the whole guild enters the room, and just when Heis is supposed to say something, Sasha tells him that he should leave the team. Heis can't believe it, and asks what happened to their promise, and asks if Sasha has forgotten it. However, Sasha says that she hasn't forgotten it, but that Sacred's about to be promoted to a A-rank team, and when that happens, Heis will only keep dragging down the rest of the team, and Sasha plans to aim for being the best team. She then puts down a ton of money and tells Heis to take it. Heis starts getting angry, but then Reynolds comes forward and says that they are sorry about this, telling Heis that they will do their best to make sure their name would be spread so far and wide that it will even reach his hometown. Heis asks if there really isn't any place for him in the team, and Reynolds says that there really isn't. Heis gets quiet before he says that Reynolds really wants to see him gone, and he is just about to say why when Robin speaks up and says that she is against making Heis leave, telling them that Heis's blessing is also a master blessing, isn't it? And that they might know what he's a master of someday. Reynolds just asks her when that day will really come and explains that their battles from here on out are going to be tougher than ever before. Robin asks what's up with Reynolds and says that he usually isn't like this. However, Reynolds says that Heis can't be here anymore and that he isn't needed, and tells Heis that he is formally kicking him out. Heis gets angry at first before he says that he hears them and grabs the book and is about to leave. Tycoon tells him that he forgot his parting gift, but Heis says that he doesn't need it. Tycoon tries to argue, but Heis then slaps it away, saying that he doesn't need it. He tells them that he will leave, but that he will never give up, and that he is not going to become an adventurer like Sasha, who will throw away the weak just to climb up higher, and he then leaves. Sasha then apologizes to Reynolds for making him kick out Heis, but he tells her not to worry about it, and asks if she is sure that this is how she wants things to go. Sasha says that it's alright, and that she doesn't want Heis to die, so this is fine, even if he ends up hating her for it. We then get to 2 months later, where we see that Heis has managed to take down 20 goblins that day. He says that that's the best he's ever done, but that he needs to get stronger. Suddenly, everyone around him starts to laugh at him, saying that he got kicked out of Sacred, which makes him a bit annoyed. However, when he is about to leave, everyone from the Sacred team walks in. Sasha is amazed to see him. However, when he is about to leave, she tells him that south of here, towards the desert nation of Dizara, within the wetlands, there are apparently white clover flowers blossoming there, the kind used in healing potions. Heis thinks that white clover flowers are quite expensive and could be sold for a lot, wondering if Sasha and the others really are looking out for him, and if maybe Sasha wasn't being mean. However, he quickly throws those thoughts to the side. We then get to the following day, where he has arrived at the wetlands and is seeing all of the flowers, which amazes him. He thinks that they may not be in the same team anymore, but that he should at least thank them. Anyway, as he is in his mind picking flowers, a big shadow suddenly covers him, and as he looks back, he sees a huge dragon in the sky. The dragon starts to roar at Heis, and Heis quickly thinks that he needs to get away, but just when he is about to leave, the dragon has already cut him. The dragon then goes in for another attack, as he sends Heis towards a rock, and he spits out blood. Heis starts to wonder if this was the bathing ground of that dragon, and wonders just why Sasha told him to go here before he thinks that she set him up, and thinks that in the end he was just an obstacle for her. The dragon then gets closer, and he thinks that he doesn't want to die. He screams it over and over again before he touches the book and it starts to light up. After that, I'm not even kidding, but he pulls out a grenade launcher. He thinks that he can feel it, and that even thought he has never seen a weapon like this before, he just knows how to use it. He thinks that he just needs to pull the trigger, and it'll launch an explosive. The dragon then starts coming closer to Heis, and he pulls out the weapon and thinks that he can kill it. Then he shoots towards the dragon and completely destroys it. He then thinks that he's finally found out his blessing, but says that this weapon is not of this world. Heis then starts to laugh manically, as he says that Sash betrayed him, and that he won't forget it. After that, we get to the village, where Geist congratulates Reynolds and Piazzolla for reaching A rank, before he asks Sasha how things are going with Heis. Sasha is surprised that he asks, and asks why. Geist explains that there have been some bad rumors about him going around lately, which shocks Sasha. Anyway, Geist explains that a bunch of people are mocking him for not giving up on being an adventurer, And on top of that, there's also rumors going around that Sasha were trying to drag him down. Sasha asks him if he really thinks that she would do something like that to Heiss. But Geist just drinks his tea and says that it's of course just a rumor, saying that the more famous they become, the more jealous someone like him, an ex-member, will attract. However, with that said, Geist knows that Sasha wouldn't do something like that to Heiss. Geist then tells Sasha that he's still determined to make their childhood dreams come true, which makes her blush. Geist continues and says that for now he said that he is saving up money to do so. Sasha then adds in by saying that she told him about a great spot to gather some herbs. Geist asks her where that would be, and Sasha says that it's on the way to the desert country of Dizara at the small Westlands. Geist then gets up right away and asks if Sasha is serious before explaining that the place is the lair of an SS rank monster, the Black Ancient Dragon's bathing ground, which shocks Sasha. Suddenly, someone comes rushing through the door, telling Geist that this is an emergency. Geist and the Sacred Guild go down where they spot Heiss sitting with the dragon behind him. Heiss then starts to speak and asks if Sasha hated him that much, saying that it's too bad that it didn't go according to her plan and that he ended up surviving, and on top of that, he killed the dragon. Sasha is confused and asks Heiss what he is talking about, but he tells her not to play dumb with him. Heiss then stands up and says that he was happy for a moment, thinking that Sasha was cheering him on, but he then says that he's now done trusting people, and that he will with his own strength become the strongest. However, as he says that, he suddenly falls to the floor and Sasha screams out his name.